Well, hello. Hi, Pastor Troy.
Pastor Luke, we have a guest.
Hey, hi everyone.
Mrs. Klopke. We're here having our pastor chat to talk about various ministries here at St. John's, specifically with our school and Little Wings. But I guess to get started, Mrs. Klopke, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background within Lutheran education?
Sure. Well, thanks for inviting me to join in your pastor chat. So I am just loving being the principal here at St. John. And yes, early childhood is kind of where I started out. Even though I never got a chance to go to preschool or kindergarten myself, but had a wonderful opportunity to attend Concordia University in River Forest or Chicago, whatever city you want to call that. And they have a phenomenal early childhood program that I got connected with. And one thing led to the next, and I decided that I wanted to really stay connected with both elementary and early childhood education, so got a degree in that. And since then, the last 38 years, have been blessed to be in primarily faith-based Lutheran schools that focus in on early childhood, but several of them also have had elementary, where I've had a chance to do some blending of that. My early childhood experience starts out with me being a teacher in a part-day program, starting in also working in full-day programs in Southern Illinois, where we didn't have many Lutheran schools. I was in the public school and was a pre-K at-risk coordinator, where I worked with kids and families that just really needed some extra oomph in their early childhood years. I got to do some grant writing, so I got a little bit more administrative experience along the way. And I've also been able to be an administrator in some of the other centers too besides that. When my husband took a call to Northern Illinois as pastor, got a chance to go into a very large Lutheran early childhood elementary school and start up extended care programs specifically for early childhood. But one led to another, and pretty soon found myself helping to organize their entire early childhood program, which was up to 250 children, and also worked with developing programs that would be very cohesive for families, that would give them opportunities both during the school year, during the after school, before school times, as well as summer camp, which really, really helped a lot of families be able to be a part of our Lutheran ministry at St. Peter.
Mm-hmm. And in the midst of all that, you wrote a book about early childhood.
Yes, I did. My phone kept ringing, and people were hearing some of the things that we were doing at some of these centers. So I was asked by the Northern Illinois District to become their early childhood coordinator. That would come out on a volunteer basis. This was my extra ministry along the way, and work with a lot of churches and schools through the joys and sorrows of early childhood ministry. And then pretty soon people wanted copies of what I was doing, and so I worked with some consultants from other LCMS districts to write a book called In His Hands, which helps congregations both start early childhood centers as well as take the bar of excellence from one level and keep it going on up. So there was a joy to have that come out a number of years ago, and to see that things that I'm doing are just kind of multiplying in other places around the country through the book. Mm-hmm.
So did you say 38 years?
38 years in education.
So this is your 38th school year or 39th?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think this is third. I lose track. It's when you're having fun.
Well,
I mean,
that's a blessing to us. So in Lutheran school ministry,
mm-hmm.
I mean, we want to serve our community, and it's
mm-hmm.
not just for Lutherans, but
right.
we want to be able to serve our community. So it sounds like what a blessing that you have been for other people, but they also, at least my experience, others are a blessing to me. So from early childhood mm-hmm. all the way through kindergarten to 8th grade, what would you say, and now you're a principal here at St. John, mm-hmm. you've done some other administrative things, mm-hmm. but now we're more than halfway through this school year, mm-hmm. what's your favorite thing about being a principal?
Well, definitely connecting with the kids each and every day. I do meet and greet them in the morning and at the end of the day, and just seeing the smiles on their faces from what they've learned, and the love that has been shared with them through Jesus definitely is my favorite part. But another part is getting the opportunity, and I'm blessed that St. John has given me that opportunity to kind of look at our programs and try and go to the next step and be a dreamer and a risk taker a little bit, just to make what God has given us blossom even more. And so part of that is coming up with where are we going in future years with different programs and curriculums and just what is the needs of our church and congregation and definitely our community as far as what do they need in education and how can we serve them and how can we be sent to serve them.
Yeah.
So what are some of your maybe specific goals, maybe short-term goals, and then maybe some kind of future dreams and visions that you have for St. John?
Great. Well, St. John has been blessed for many years with
168.
That's a lot of years. That's more than 38 or 39, but definitely has been blessed with being able to provide Christian education and also making sure that it is quality and definitely reaches the needs and interests of them. So looking at being that early childhood is one of those passion points. One of the things I noticed right away when I visited is that you really had two early childhood programs. You had your child care program in the Little Wings, concept and building, and then you had a preschool, pre-K program over here. Those two programs are both excellent programs and have served families for very, very well for many years. But I can see them working together even more. And so that's the next step that I'm taking is working with the Little Folks staff and families as well as the St. John's staff and families, which really are one and the same. But helping them see how they're one and the same and making sure that their curriculums and programs are cohesive. They're what I call scaffolded, so they build upon each other and that they work together. And there's definitely room for more students, especially as we kind of reformat that a little bit. So one of the things that we've done is come up with a concept of more early childhood education across the board and how that all works together, both in the times, the age levels, the curriculum, the themes. So this is something that is in place and ready to go for next school year. That is definitely a passion area and something that I've put a lot of heart and soul and time into. The other thing is listening to families and finding out where they're at. And one of the things that I've heard is a need for something in the summer. And not that Indianapolis doesn't have things, but there really isn't much faith-based day camp type opportunities. And within this 15-mile radius, literally nothing. So developing a brand new summer camp program, which is called Summer Days, and it'll run for 8 weeks in the summer. It will merge and be a part of our Vacation Bible School program, which will be June 14th for 5 days. So there'll be a cohesiveness there with church and school ministries. Families will be able to enroll for, I want to make this very family friendly. I don't want them to feel they've got to do it all summer long. But if they need it all summer, it would be available for up to 8 weeks, but a minimum of 10 days. I want it to be something that the kids really want to be at, are very recreational, help them feel like they're their neighborhood kid and getting to do all the fun swimming and field trips and thematic type activities. So that is set to go, and the specifics on it are going to be out imminently.
Okay. So in the near term, we got things like Dreaming and a summer camp, and that's going to happen, tied in with Vacation Bible School. That's exciting. One of the things you alluded to, so let's say going further down the line, so our ministries here, when we talk about Little Wings, I don't know, maybe not everybody knows when we say Little Wings, what is, well, one, where is it, if people don't know, and what does that, who do we minister to at Little Wings?
Sure. Well, Little Wings is a program that is specifically for our littlest of friends, our little, starting with 6 weeks on up, and they have traditionally gone up through about kindergarten over there. Now, with the melding of the two programs and getting us all working together even more closely than we've done in the past, Little Wings, which by the way is out in our backwoods, it's in the back parking lot, a former house, large house that we have equipped to accommodate young children. It is definitely an area that we see that can be a growth area for us. There is a tremendous need for more child care and early education, early childhood education programs in that particular age level. Specifically, what I'm finding is in the 2 to 3 year old is a big deficiency area in our area. Now, if we had more space, the other need is infants, but infants do take even larger amounts. It's more difficult to add many more infant programs out there, but we can definitely add more 2 and 3 year old programs to complement what we have in our building over here. My dream would be to get them all under one roof at some time. That may, not be realistic in the,
It's good
short
to
term,
dream, though.
but it is good.
Yes.
And really probably the biggest challenge we have right now is the space between the Little Wings building and ours. Just for flow of traffic and activities, the Little Wings students do come over into our sanctuary here for chapel every week, but that's a lot getting all their coats and boots and everything on at this time of the year. So the more we would be in-house, curriculum would be easier to implement, chapel would be easier to implement, and in general we'd be able to develop the space very specifically for the current needs of families today. A lot of them are coming in with multiple children, so having an entryway that's very family friendly that would allow them easy in and out would be very, very helpful, and definitely would be more conducive to saying that, hey, we care about you, you're very welcome in our building. So that's something that I would love to see. I've been blessed to be in other places that we have developed larger programs, larger buildings, and develop more facility equipment needs too, and that would be something I would love to do. And I feel so blessed to be here at St. John because I feel a real strong sentiment and dedication to early childhood education.
Well, one of the things, and we've talked about it, so often we have more of a demand at Little Wings than we can meet, and that might be a space limitation.
Right.
At times that's been finding workers for the harvest field, but one of the things, and appreciate since you've been here, is we're having these conversations about how can we not only be efficient but effective in that ministry, because we want to actually minister to the needs of the community. And we're seeing if there is a demand that is exceeding our supply, are there things that we can do? And one of them is maybe we reconfigure some classrooms, and ultimately, Lord willing, if we could be under one roof, we want to be able to do that because we want to be the hands of Christ in this place, and the listening ear. And so I'm excited to think about that, and ideally all together. And Pastor Luke gets over there more than me, but it's fun to go to Little Wings at a time when we read over there. We might get to read more often. So one of the things I'm wondering about, though, so how do people enroll at St. John Lutheran School, or for pre-K or Little Wings? Is that something that's ongoing, or what's the process look like, and how do we continue to get the word out? There's two questions there.
Right. Well, this is you've asked me this at the right time of year, because this truly is enrollment season across the way, not just at St. John, but schools around the country. Typically February, March are the big times. Now, we do accept children year-round, so if someone comes later, they don't need to worry. Just connect with us, and I'll explain how that'll happen in just a minute. But connect with us, and we will try and find the type of situation within our ministry that will help you and your family, whether the child is 6 weeks old or 6 years or 14 years old, because we are one cohesive ministry, and that's something that I appreciate that St. John sees as being very, very important. As far as enrollment goes, the first step is giving us a call. Calling through to our main school line and asking for the admissions counselor. Lori Reno Howard is in that role right now, and she assists me in connecting with all new families. And initially that's hopefully coming in and visiting and seeing what the facilities are like. And if depending on the age level, you could be visiting both of the buildings, which are just a parking lot away from each other, or visiting the one that's very specific to you. I generally take some time with each individual family to meet with them and find out kind of where they're at, how we can serve their needs, what kinds of programs that they're looking for, and then get a chance to share with what St. John has here and encourage them along the way, both with our programs and also with just general resources. From that point, Lori takes over again and sends out a variety of the online information on how to enroll, which most of it is done totally online, which is very, very nice and convenient. So you can do it at night with your jammies on. And once we get that, then there's some other follow-ups along the way. We do send you home with a whole packet of goodies to look through. If the child is here, we make a very intentional effort also to be sure that they feel comfortable on the tour and get a chance to play. If it's an older student, we can arrange for a shadow day where they can come in for part or all of a day and go experience what it's like to be a kindergartner here at St. John, or a 4th grader, or an 8th grader, infant, whatever. If they're here over the lunch hour, they get a free lunch. They get a chance. And and that was one thing I was told when I moved here, that St. John had like the best, tastiest school lunch program around. And I agree. I have partaken in it quite often, let's put it that way. So they get a real taste and flavor of literally of everything that is going on here. We do follow up afterwards too with, if they have more questions along the way, and try and meet any individual situations, whether they have any information from their past school, whatever. We help with transferring of records, all the little intricacies Lori and I will work through with them. Lori Fogy is also very involved in this program, specifically when it comes to the children that are what we call young threes all the way down to infants, and she works with families to find out what their needs are as far as days of the week and hours and actually enrollment over there. So it would start with Lori Reno Howard here in our building, and then we would get you into the right voicemail box to find out specific age levels and things that need to be done there. It sounds like a lot, but the two Loris are wonderful about the paperwork, and it goes pretty smoothly. But this is a great time of year to learn more about it. All the summer camp information will be available in those sites also.
Good.
So speaking of enrollment, we need help getting the word out.
We do. We have found that you can have all the best marketing programs, and we strive to have everything available both in print and online and everything. But really, to learn about a program, it's best to find out from a real person that's gone through it. So any families that have been part of our program, I encourage you to share this information, to share where to get the paper and all of that from us that puts it into print, but to tell a little testimonial about why St. John has really meant a lot to their children and their families, both from infancy all the way on up through our education programs. But you're our best help in that enrollment process, so please do.
Well, I think one of the things that we've talked about, none of us have been around 168 years. The financial aspect of Lutheran school ministry is a significant thing, but one of the things I appreciate, and we've wrestled through, is we want to be able to continue to do this. And I would say, as someone who was blessed to go to a Lutheran parochial school 5th to 8th grade and a Lutheran high school in Fort Wayne, I didn't go to undergraduate, but then also as a father, as a husband, my wife and I have appreciated that our 3 children have been blessed by this. And what I would say, and now 13 years into being a pastor, is that I am blessed that my church family can help raise my children. But we're not limiting this to only Lutherans.
No.
Like, we want to help people to raise their children, and we're blessed here with Little Wings through our early childhood stuff that we really can start that 6 weeks old.
For sure.
And that's what we're looking at this holistically. We don't make money on it, but we want to do what God has given us to do. We want to be the people of God, and God creates a family, and to the extent we can help minister to other people, we want to do that.
This is a very special way that we can minister to each other within our community of believers that do worship with us. And yes, we want to make as many opportunities available to the community and around. And that's why we try and listen to them too, and find out what kinds of programs that they're needing for their particular families. There are a number of ways we can help people through various scholarshiping programs, both within our state, which we're very blessed in Indiana to have the Choice Program, which serves not the littlest of ones, but does serve starting from kindergarten on up. And our church in itself does support this ministry in a very awesome, monumental way. And so through the years, we have been able to help a lot of families and walk beside them, not just socially and emotionally and spiritually, but also physically with providing some funding for that. So all of that is available within our office, and we can help people and walk them through that process.
So we are very blessed here at St. John to have a Christ-centered education. That Jesus is the center of everything we do at St. John Lutheran Church, School, and Little Wings. And
Amen.
We want to share that with
everyone.
With everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts?
I'm just excited about all the many opportunities here at St. John, and just applaud the congregation for wrapping their arms around families and showing them how much Jesus loves them, from the littlest to the oldest.
Well, we're blessed to have you here.
Thank you.
You get our microphone back and forth.
All right. Well, yeah.
Mrs. Klopke is one of the best guests we've ever had.
You've had what, 4?
One of the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And, we'll go ahead and wrap up the video here.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.